Hello, welcome to day 12 of the Prayer Beast Month Challenge. Today I'm going to be answering the question, what's the best time for praying? And to get that answer, we're going to look into the scriptures as usual. Now, the very first text is going to come from Mark chapter 1 verse 35. Now in the morning, having risen a long while before daylight, he went out and departed to a solitary place, and there he prayed. So a long while before daylight, Jesus would get up and go pray. Now, if you think of a long while before daylight, let's just say daylight is 6 a.m. Then you're looking at like 2 a.m., 1 a.m., right? This was his routine. And then later in the video, I'm going to show you why I think that this would actually work very well for you as well. The next one is Luke 6, verse 12. In these days, he went out to the mountain to pray, and all night he continued in prayer to God. Now, all night in the Jewish system is 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So you can pray all night. You can decide to use the night to pray, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, the next one we're going to look at is 1 Thessalonians 3, verse 10. As we pray most earnestly night and day, that we may see your face or see you face to face and supply what is lacking in your faith. So meaning that you can decide to pray during the day and you can decide to pray during the night. So you can pray daytime alone, you can pray the nighttime alone, and you can pray day and night. Do you get, like, you can have a combination of prayer times. And then Ephesians 6 verse 18 says, praying at all times in the Spirit with all prayer and supplication. So praying at all times, that means prayer can happen anytime and anywhere. It can happen anytime. So there is no odd time to actually pray. You can pray anytime. But for the sake of consistency, right? The sake of consistency, having a routine is always important. Building a habit to pray at a specific time. Look at Acts 3 verse 1. Now Peter and John were going up to the temple at the hour of prayer, the ninth hour. So here there was the hour of prayer. There was a set time when people knew they were going to pray. And that's actually, you set your mind so you can, it allows you to be able to plan yourself properly. You plan your time, put your house in order, and do the things you need to do earlier so that you are freed up to pray at that specific time. Now, so in summary, there's no hard and fast rule when it comes to praying, but there are patterns, right, to follow. And depending on how your life is changing, your prayer times can change with your life. But however, I encourage you to form a consistent habit by finding a time that works regardless of change. So you want to actually have a time of prayer that works, whether you're going to travel, whether you are stationary, whether, no matter what you're doing, that you are consistent. And that's the key word. And if we look at the life of Jesus, we realize that he had this pattern of praying very early in the morning or at night. Of course, he prayed other times. Sometimes after a crusade meeting, he's going, but even then, it was at night. He was going up the mountain to pray, it was at night. But he had this routine whereby when the day's activities were not so loud, right, when people were asleep, that's when he's going to pray. And it makes a lot of sense, because if you think about it, you don't really want people interrupting you during prayer. It's not when you're praying that people are asking all these questions and barging. I mean, I remember as a younger person living with my family, right, that you could be praying and then just barging, right? Barging, well, come and buy this, come and do this, come and do that. During prayer, because sometimes, well, your parents are your parents. Sometimes they will not. And that was it. So praying at night eliminates a lot of that. People will be asleep. Human beings sleep. So when they sleep, you should be praying. And if you can make that a habit, right? Maybe I'll make a video on how you can, although I've done that on Instagram, you can check it out on PSTRSEN. We'll maybe talk a lot more about how to ready yourself to pray more at night, to keep vigils, because that will actually be the best time that you can maintain a prayer routine throughout your life. I remember there was this minister that said that God began to train him when he was in university to wake up 2 a.m. to pray every single day. And he did that regularly throughout school days. And now he's a pastor, and he can see the benefits of doing that, because now you can do everything you need to do in the day, but at night, nobody's around, nobody's talking to you, everyone is asleep, and you're able to focus on your prayer life. So that's it for this particular teaching. Don't forget, we're praying by 6 p.m. today. So you want to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that when we go live, the notification will drop in your phone or your device and you won't miss the prayers. Yesterday's prayers were awesome. You want to go check the replay. God's power moved drastically. And if you even check the replays, like you were not part of it, if you watch the replays, you can experience the same thing because God is always active. That's it for today. God bless you. See you by 6 p.m. Bye-bye.